Good morning, children. Yesterday I explained about the timeline of medieval history, impact of geography on history, and terms used to describe the Indian subcontinent. And today I am going to explain about the different sources of information for medieval history. Okay, so let's start. Historian relay. Historian means the person who study about the history. So historian rely on different sources while reconstructing history by rechecking a fact from different sources. Means when the historian uh, relay the different sources, when the historian relay about any history, so they use different sources and they check again and again the history. They check again and again these resources, these facts are correct or not. So they use different sources. What are the different sources? Uh, these different sources can have the buildings, graves, seals and coins. So all these things, from where they get? All these things they get from excavated or dig up. When they dig up the earth, the surface of the earth, then they get some pieces of buildings, graves, potsherds, seals, etc. All these things they get and they study about it, and then they relay the different sources, then they relay the different facts of the history. Okay, so and for the period after writing was discovered, as the writing was discovered, so they used different sources like inscription, coins, religious and secular writings. Similar in the medieval period of Indian history also has several sources. Several sources. Medieval period means after the invention of writing. Several sources are are to study the medieval history, and the historian use what are the different sources? These different sources are epigraphic evidence, means inscription; numismatic evidence, means coins; archaeological evidence, means buildings and sculptures; artistic evidence, means paintings; and literary evidence, means historical writings. So these are the different sources. From these we can get the knowledge about the medieval history. So first one is inscription. Epigraphy evidence. Inscription means epigraphy evidence. What is epigraphy or what is inscription? So inscription are writing engraved. Engraved means writing. They write. Inscription are writing engraved on hard surface. The hard surface can have metal, rocks or stone. Okay, so I think you observed also when you visited in the ancient places, might you have seen something written on the wall or the pillar. That is called inscription. The study of inscription is called epigraphy. What is epigraphy? Epigraphy is the study of inscription. Or what is inscription? Inscription are writing engraved on hard surface like metal, seal or stone. Inscription are an important source of information about Indian past, because the people, they wrote something on the wall, on the hard surface. So these are the important source about the Indian past. For example, there is given inscription of Ashokan pillar. Ashoka was a Mauryan king. He engraved so many messages on the pillars or the rocks. Okay, so what is inscription? Inscriptions are writing engraved on hard surface like metal, rock or stone. And the study of inscription is called epigraphy. and inscription were initially made of faces of cliff or on or stone pillars, where they wrote all these things. They wrote on the faces of cliffs or on the stone pillar, or sometime inside the caves and on the rocks. As the time passed, these came into metal. As the time passed, or uh, as they knew to write, they started to write on metal, or such as coins and copper plates, etc. And several copper plates inscription belonging to the medieval period have been found around the temples in South India. Okay, first they used stone pillars, and then as the writing invented, so they wrote on the copper plates or metal plates. Inscription may be short. Inscription may be short as 2 lines description. Okay, inscription can we have 2 lines or as well as long poem also. So 2 lines poem also they wrote on the temple or the statue or the lengthy. Okay, so a long poem praising the achievement of king. Sometimes these inscriptions have a long poem, like a long poem, and these long poem the poet used for the praising of king, as the king uh, received any achievement, so they praise means प्रशंसा करना, किसी की बड़ाई करना. Okay, so and the praise of king they wrote a long poem. So this long poem is called prasasti. This long poem is called prasasti. Okay, what is prasasti? Prasasti is a long poem in the praise of king. What is prasasti? Prasasti is a long poem written by the poet in the praise of king. That is called prasasti. Since prashastis were normally written by courts poet means जो पोएट्स जो राजा के दरबार में रहते थे, ये प्रशस्तिस उनके द्वारा लिखी जाती थी. बट इट इज़ नॉट श्योर इट इज़ factually accurate. Okay, and it is not sure whatever they were written, it is correct. Copper plates inscription often recorded handgram by the rich to temples. Okay, they also record the achievement of the king. Inscription belonging to the Chalukyas period have been found at the Aihole and the Paradikal. Okay, so before the widespread of use of paper, inscription were a useful way of getting a message across to a large audience. Okay, inscription. Okay, after invention of paper also, this inscription is a large way to send the message across the large audience. Second one is coins. Coins means numismatic evidences. Numismatic evidences means coins. The coins are the peaceful metal that are used as a money. Still we are using coins. Okay, they were usually issued by the ruler of the kingdom. Time to time the shape of the coins also change, and the informations also change, and the study of coins is called numismatic. What is numismatic? The study of coins. Coins में जो भी लिखा होता है उसकी study करना वो numismatic कहलाता है. And the information gathered from the coin tell us about the kingdom, confirm dates during which particular king ruled. Okay, so might you observe you are using coins. In the coins year is written, some pictures are there. So numismatic, this study tells us about the confirmed date, on which date the coin is issued, who issued, and in which year it is issued, and their special interest and achievement. Okay, sometimes as the king got any achievement, so they issued coins. The coin help us historian clarify any doubt. The coins help the historian to clarify any doubt in which year the king was ruled. They have about the dates and events that are given in the books. Sometimes in books, sometimes dates are given, sometimes different. So they can clarify from the coins and the other sources of the information. Next one is monuments on buildings, means monuments and the buildings. Monuments and the buildings often provided information about the period during which they were built. Monuments, sometime in monuments also year written, date written, and by whom it is built, everything is written. Then temples, palaces and mosque can tell us not only the religious practices but also about the political, economic and social condition of the time. Okay, so these temples, palaces and the mosque can also tell us not only about the religious practices which religion was practiced that time, but also the political condition, economic condition and social conditions of that time. Everything, all these things given. Mosque like Jama Masjid in Delhi. Here is given some example. Mosque like Jama Masjid in Delhi forts, like those at Delhi, Gwalior, Agra and Mandu. All these are the forts. And the palaces like those are at Jaipur, Jodhpur, Deeg and Hyderabad are studied by the historian to understand the style of architecture followed at that time. So these are some examples given. Mosque like Jama Masjid in Delhi, you are familiar about it. Forts like those at the Delhi Red Fort, Gwalior, Agra and Mandu, all these are the forts. And the palaces like Jaipur, Jodhpur, Deeg and Hyderabad. All the historian studied about all these monuments. Now the next is paintings. Paintings are an important source of information, especially for the medieval period of Indian history. They illustrate the artistic progress of that time. At that time, the people, the kings and queens, they were fond of paintings. So time to time, the painters, they painted. Sometimes the king pictures, sometimes the political condition, sometimes social condition. All these things they painted. Since the rulers of the kingdom and the other important people often had their portraits done. Portraits means murti banana. And the paintings also. Paintings serve as a record of the line of the descent of kings and nobles. In generation to generation, they make the portraits and the paintings and all. So they also tell us about the nature of society. These paintings also tell us about the nature of the society, the way of dresses, which type of dress they wore, what custom they followed, and what important events they celebrated, and the life of the common people along with other features of that period. Everything they painted on these things. Next one is literary evidence. Literary evidence consists of historical writings, biographies, plays, novels and epics. Literary evidence consists of historical writings. Historical writings like biographies. Biography means life story of a person. Plays means drama. Novels is books. And the epics means life story which was described as a poem. Medieval Indian history has a rich collection of literary sources, material to draw the information from. Literary sources of two types. Now literary sources are of two types. Indigenous sources means those created within the country, which are created in the within the country. And next, another one is the foreign sources, means that is written by the foreign travelers to the country. Foreign travelers came to India and they wrote about the culture, social condition, political condition. They wrote about the India. So these are the two literary sources. First one indigenous sources and next one is the foreign sources. So first one is indigenous sources. Medieval manuscripts in India were mainly written on palm leaf. First they wrote on the palm leaf, cloth, bamboo leaf, birch leaf and paper. First they use all these things to write. Na? Palm leaf, cloth, bamboo leaf, birch bark and paper. The manuscript deal with a wide variety of subject. Manuscript means written by hand. Script written by hand. Okay, such as religion. Manuscripts deal with manuscript not only related to one subject, many subjects like religion, philosophy, system of science, arts and literature. They are composed in a different Indian languages and script. But unfortunately, many of these important chronicles and documents have been destroyed because they used palm leaf, birch bark, all these. So many of these have been destroyed by rain, fungus and insect like termites. Termites means जो किताबों में कीड़ा लग जाता है उसको दीमक बोलते हैं, दीमक, that is termite. So all these important chronicles and documents have been destroyed by rain, fungus and insect like termites. Bards means poets, and the chronicles were appointed by the king. All these poets or chronicles, they were appointed by kings and their job was to record all the happenings of the state. It is their work. They keep all these record. They keep all the records. Some of these have been preserved and published by Colonel Todd in the famous book Annual and Arthropathies of Rajasthan. Okay, and the important biographies that describe the lives and achievement of king include the Raj Tarangani by Kalhan. This is another biography. Kalhan. Okay, Kalhan wrote Raj Tarangani and written in 12th century CE. It tells about the king of Kashmir. In Vikramaketna Charita, Chalukya writer Bilhan, Chalukya writer Bilhan described the achievement of the king of Chola kingdom, and Prithvi Raj Raso composed by Chandubardai. So these were the biographies: Raj Tarangini, Bilhan and Prithvi Raj Raso. And the next one is the of the famous ruler of the Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Prithvi Raj Raso was a biography of Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Next one is foreign sources. Medieval India saw several foreign entering of India as a traveler, as students and as a pilgrims. Al-Biruni, the Persian traveler, came to India with the Mahmud of Ghazni. Al-Biruni, the Persian traveler, he came to India at the time of Mahmud of Ghazni in the 11th century. And Ibn Battuta, he was also the Morocco-born traveler, and he also wrote about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Marco Polo, the Italian ambassador in the court of the Chinese emperor Kublai Khan, and passed through South India in 1292 CE. He wrote an interesting account of social custom and culture of South India. And the Babarnama is the autobiography of the Mughal emperor Babur. Autobiography means written by or life story written by himself or herself. This is called the autobiography. Okay, and Akbarnama, the biography of Emperor Akbar, contain vivid and detailed description of life during the Mughal rule. So here is given autobiography and biography also. So all these are written by foreign travelers. So these are the foreign resources, many of which are not always continuous or authentic. So historians have tried to recreate the history of the medieval India, and it was soon after the death of King Harsha. Now the homework is learn glossary properly. Thank you. Have a nice day.